All right, welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Friday, the 30th of December. Good to have you aboard the final edition of ZASLOW Show 2.0 in the year 2022 of our Lord. That's right, the last show of this year. The next time we talk, it'll be on Monday. Granted, we have It's Still Real to Me. That's tomorrow, pro wrestling show with my pal Joey Levine, which we drop every Saturday. So that, of course, is under ZASLOW Show 2.0. But the next edition of ZASLOW Show 2.0 will be on Monday. It'll be a new year. That's right. So hope everybody is getting your plans ready for the weekend. Whatever you're going to do, you want to stay safe. You don't need to go out and do it all up. That's amateur hour, all right? You're able to go out. See, here's what we got going on tomorrow. And by the way, of course, everything ZASLOW Show 2.0 is always presented by our title sponsor, Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Wouldn't be here right now being able to do this show if not for my friends at Anidjar and Levine. If you're dealing with a personal injury, if you had an accident, you call 911 first, and then you call Anidjar and Levine, where you get a lawyer on the phone right away. That's right, 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733, title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0. You make sure you let them take care of all the things outside of your health. You get right, you get back to health, get back to full strength, and they're going to get you money that you deserve. That's their specialty. No one's better. Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-3733. But make sure you don't get into any accidents this weekend. You got to be very careful, all right? Like I said, it's amateur hour, with New Year's. You don't need to go down to South Beach. You don't need to go to Las Olas. You don't need to go downtown Del Rey. You don't need to do that. Like, here's what we got going on tomorrow. The ZASLOW family, we're meeting up with some of our other friends, all right, with their family. We're going out to an early dinner. That's right. We're actually going to Tap 42 in Davie. That's a good spot. I like that place. So we're going out to an early dinner tomorrow night, and then we're going to come back to the ZASLOW mansion, and we're going to have some drinks, and we're not even going to come close to making it to midnight. Not even close. No chance. Can't stay up till midnight. It's way too late. So we're getting this thing going early. We're going to have a great time. We're going to booze it up. And look, this is a very big sports weekend, starting with tonight. And tomorrow night, of course, you got which, by the way, true or false, college football playoff snuck up on your ass. That's right. Snuck up on your ass. I mean, tomorrow, we have a major college football day. It's like, the college football's lost all the momentum. But I don't know what you're supposed to do about it. The kids, they are student athletes. They get winter break. And on top of winter break, you have final exams and all that. So there's no real answer to it. It's always been like this, but it does feel like college football has lost momentum. But we got some major bowl games. We have the major bowl games tomorrow. No spoilers here, but probably in big game or not a big game. That's right. It's a Friday show. It's the last show of the year. Thanks to everybody who has made the first 2 months of ZASLOW Show 2.0. Thanks to everyone who's made the first 2 months of ZASLOW Show 2.0 a big success. I appreciate you guys. I love you long time, and certainly can't do this without all of your support out there. So we're a couple months into ZASLOW Show 2.0. It's the last show of the year 2022, and I'm eternally grateful to you guys. My sponsors, I love you guys as well. Can't do this, can't keep it going without you guys either. And my future sponsors, I love you guys as well. So if you're looking to get on board ZASLOW Show 2.0, if you think that we could partner up, if you think this is good for you, if it's good for me, we could see if we could work something out. You can go to my Twitter bio, and you got the email address there for advertising. It's real easy to remember anyway, jonathanzaslow@gmail.com. Look, come on. You don't need to use too much memory to wind up remembering that, all right? So if you want to get involved in the show for the start of the year, there you go. Perfect opportunity. We can partner up. I love you long time. All right. So again, huge thank you to everybody out there. Make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you do all that good stuff. It's for the algorithm, all right? And then I get the monies. And then it all works out for everybody. So here's what we got coming up on the show today. Already told you, we got big game, not big game. It's Friday. You know what I'm talking about, all right? I got my Johnny Cuba hat going on here. That's right. Going to start my weekend with a refreshing German lager brought to us by Johnny Cuba. You know how we do. Get yourself a six-pack. Sedanos, Presidente, Winn-Dixie, Fresco y Mas. You got specials on six-pack cans, holiday specials right now. So go pick up a six-pack of Johnny. And remember, stay tranquilo. Keep sending me the videos, by the way. A few of you guys, ZASLOW Show 2.0 listeners, like yesterday, Julian, great listener, Julian, cracked open a six-pack of Johnny. He wants that case. He's wondering, where's the case of Johnny Cuba? Maybe it's coming soon. I don't know. But he cracked open a six-pack of Johnny last night. He sent me the video. I love it. I reposted on my Instagram. You know that's good. If you support the show, you got to support the sponsors as well. So great job there by Julian sending me the video there, cracking open a Johnny to get his weekend started early on a Thursday night. I look good looking. I look good with this hat on, right? Not just because I don't have the hair anymore, but just this is a good looking hat. So come on now. All right, here's what we got going on today. Jamie Eisenberg, CBS Sports fantasy football expert. He's going to give us the fantasy football tips for the weekend for Week 17 of the NFL, which got going last night. With a Cowboys 27-13 win over the Titans, I watched not a single play. Not a single play of this game last night. We'll get to why in a moment. But the Cowboys got things going there last night. And really weird scenario, like, they didn't bench Malik Willis. They're resting him for next week. Derrick Henry probably could have played. They're keeping him for next week because win or lose last night, and they lost, and Jacksonville win or lose this weekend at Houston, game's totally inconsequential to both teams. They're going to play. Well, I shouldn't say inconsequential to both teams because if a bunch of things happened, one of them can make the last wild card spot, but they're not focused on the wild card. They're focused on winning the division, all right? And the division comes down to next week, no matter what happened this week with either team. Really quirky as far as all the tie breaks go. And the winner of the game next week, Jacksonville and Tennessee, will host Wild Card Weekend. Will win the AFC South. So that game didn't mean anything for Tennessee. It sucks if you're a fantasy football owner. Now, we got Jamie Eisenberg, CBS Sports Fantasy Football. He's going to join us coming up today. It's likely your championship game for fantasy football if you're still alive. And if you got Derrick Henry, if Derrick Henry has carried you here, that sucks. Because the game, in a weird quirk, the game meant nothing for Tennessee. And next week actually means everything for Tennessee. So they get to rest. They get to sit Derrick Henry. But it totally screws your fantasy team. So that sucks. That's a shame that it works out like that. Anyway, so Week 17 got going last night. Jamie will help us with everything that's going on this weekend for your fantasy football championship. Also, Evan Washburn, he's going to be roaming the sidelines this weekend. NFL on CBS, it's Ian Eagle and Charles Davis that have the Dolphins and Patriots. Evan Washburn's roaming the sidelines. He's going to join us. He's going to make his debut on ZASLOW Show 2.0. So we'll get him on the Zoom call. We'll talk to him about Dolphins and Patriots. We'll see what he's got for us going into this weekend's game. So that's what we have planned for the show today. I do want to tell you a little bit about last night before we get into Dolphins, and we'll do a little bit of Heat too, as the Heat are embarking. They begin a 5-game road trip, which is tonight. It's actually the first night of a back-to-back, all right? The road trip starts out tonight in Denver, and tomorrow night they're in Utah. So there you have it. But before we get to the Heat, before we get to the Dolphins, last night, I didn't watch any of the football game because I was at WWE Live. Appreciate all the ZASLOW Show 2.0 listeners. Nobody texted me last night and gave me a spoiler on what was going on with the Panthers. I watched it when I got home. We'll get to that in a second. I recorded the game. But I went last night with my younger son, Jordan. We went to WWE Live at FTX Arena. Great show. Great show. I love the house shows, man. And I love getting the messages from you guys. You can message me at ZASLOW Show on Twitter. Also on Instagram, where I'm a very serious influencer at ZASLOW J. And I love getting the messages from you guys who had a great time at the show last night. So the big difference, and I was discussing this with my son. My son loves house shows. And like I'm saying, hey, why do you like house shows so much? And he knows the right answers. Well, there's no time constraints on the matches. The matches are all long. There's no TV breaks. So you're not sitting there. You go to a WWE show like tonight, WWE SmackDown is in Tampa, which is actually a monster show. John Cena's returning. Roman Reigns is fighting. Oh my God, what a night it's going to be. And so tonight, you have WWE SmackDown is in Tampa. And if you're at the show, it's going to be a great show, but you'll be sitting around for 6, 7, 8 minutes at a time doing nothing because there's commercial breaks or there's backstage segments and you're watching on the big screen there. But at a house show, nonstop action, long matches, and the superstars interact so much with the crowd. Like, for instance, I'll tell you right quick, Bray Wyatt wrestled last night, which is a big deal. The wrestling fan, make sure you're watching and listening to It's Still Real to Me tomorrow on ZASLOW Show 2.0. And Bray Wyatt wrestled last night. Crowd loves him. Crowd went crazy last night. He's knocking some of the ring rust off. So after the match, he stopped and took selfies or signed an autograph for every fan who was sitting in the front. Not just around the ring, but on the aisle, on the ramp, going back up the stage. Stopped, and it took about 15 minutes. He stopped and took selfies with everyone. I was very impressed. And I'm not a huge Bray Wyatt fan, but I think maybe I am now. I was very impressed with that. Stopped and took a picture, or a selfie, or an autograph, chatted, with everyone. It was really impressive. House shows are a lot of fun. I highly recommend next time you got a chance to take your kid, you want to go to the game, go to the game. You want to go to the, you want to go see the show, go see some pro wrestling. You'll have a great time. So we had a great time last night. It was really fun. I thought it was a really good crowd. Miami's usually shit crowds for pro wrestling, usually bad. But except for like one pocket, which is where I was taking a bunch of pictures and you could see like, oh man, it looks empty. Except for like that pocket right there, the lower level was pretty packed. It was pretty full. Crowd was loud. Crowd was into it. Main event was great. I thought it was an excellent crowd and an excellent show. Really fun. And Ronda Rousey wrestled. Did not expect to see her. That got a big pop from the crowd. So everyone, and it makes sense because she's wrestling. She's defending the title tonight in Tampa. So she does the house show in Miami, and then she drives up to Tampa. Last night, and you do SmackDown, you do TV. So anyway, I appreciate my friends there at the Miami Heat, and of course my guys there at WWE setting me up. Really, really great time. Appreciate you. You guys are really good to me and the ZASLOW family. All right. Anyway, so. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to the serious business. Before we welcome Evan Washburn on the show, and we'll do some more Dolphins with him, you're going to find out about your favorite football team this weekend. You're going to find out about the team in general. You're going to find out about the head coach. Hopefully he plays. You'll find out a little bit about Bradley Chubb this weekend. That's right, he's new. Bradley Chubb, are we going to get what we're paying for? Are we going to get what we're paying for, and are we going to get a return on what we traded for? You can't fault Chris Greer in this spot, and Chris Greer has done an excellent job this year. I was very hard on Chris Greer, very deserved, but he's done an excellent job putting the pieces together and giving this team the opportunity to win, and one of those was Bradley Chubb. There's only so much the general manager can do. Now it's up to the players or coaches. Now it's up to Bradley Chubb. So I know he was playing with a club on his hand last week. I guess he's questionable for this weekend. If he needs to get out there and play through it, man. But double up on the club. Bradley Chubb's got to play this weekend. You got to suck it up. Now, not to say that he's not tough, but he's got to play this weekend, and he's got to come up big, give the Dolphins a return on their investment in a must-win game. Mike McDaniel, who right now, he has shown signs the last couple weeks of adjusting, and that comes with the running game. Have they abandoned it too early in games in the fourth quarter? I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think it makes sense what Mike McDaniel has said in the past a few weeks ago, where, okay, they're running the ball well, and now teams are making adjustments and they're stacking the box. So we can either stick with the running game, or we could do what we're built for, which is pass the ball. So you either stick with what they're trying to take away, or you could do the thing that you're really good at, maybe better than everyone else at. I kind of want to do that. And then on top of it, big game situations, fourth quarter. Do I want the ball in the hands of Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson? Or do I want the ball in the hands, to a lesser extent Tua, but do I want the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? I want the ball in the hands of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So I don't have so much of a problem with the abandoning of the running game in the fourth quarter, but you're going to find out about Mike McDaniel. Is there a new wrinkle? Is there something else he could do this weekend? He's got a full week of preparing with Teddy Bridgewater. We're going to find out about Teddy Bridgewater. We're going to find out about our favorite little football team this weekend. Not just how this team responds to a 4-game skid, but we're going to find out how they respond to, obviously, the news about Tua. All right? We're going to find out about responding in a huge spot, a game that you have to win, and we're going to find out how this team comes out after dealing with terrible news about Tua and his future. You're going to find out about this team this weekend. Who's going to be the guy that steps up? I'm not worried about the guy stepping up on offense, all right? And there's only so much you could ask Teddy Bridgewater to do. I'm not worried about Tyreek Hill. I'm not worried about Jalen Waddle. I know those guys are going to bring it. Who's going to be the guy that steps up on the defensive side? This Patriot offense sucks. Sucks. Mac Jones, as bad a starting quarterback you've ever seen. He sucks. By the way, has anyone seen Mac Jones and Grayson Allen in the same room? Has anyone seen them? This is as dirty a quarterback you've ever seen. Quarterback's not only dirty. Mac Jones, dirty. A dirty player. As dirty a quarterback you've ever seen. What's this defense going to do against a putrid Patriots offense and against a starting quarterback who doesn't belong as a starting quarterback? Who's going to be the guy on defense that steps up? Bradley Chubb? I was hoping we were going to get the Bradley Chubb game a couple weeks ago. I was dead wrong about it. Didn't get it. Is it going to be Xavier Howard? Xavier Howard's been picked on, man. Xavier Howard going to make a big play. Can he come up with a big interception? Can he come up with a big strip tackle? The things that Xavier Howard's been known to do. How about Christian Wilkins, who's been fantastic? Does he come up with the big play? What about Jalen Phillips? Things have opened up for Jalen Phillips, I believe, over the last month because of Bradley Chubb's presence. Till we get another one of those big strip sacks like you got in the Buffalo game. They couldn't hang on, but we're going to get that again from Jalen Phillips. I'm not worried about who steps up on the offensive side. I'm worried about who's going to step up on the defensive side. Who's going to be your boy this weekend? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about, right? Who's going to be your boy on the Dolphins' defensive side of the ball? Now, are you worried about Bridgewater? Yeah. But here's the reality, all right? Teddy Bridgewater is still far superior a quarterback than Mac Jones. A lot of these games, especially the super meaningful ones, which quarterback do you trust more? Well, you got Teddy Bridgewater, you got Mac Jones. Which quarterback do you trust more? And the fact of the matter is, Teddy Bridgewater is a far superior quarterback to Mac Jones. One of them has had success in this league, and the other one sucks. One of them is Teddy Bridgewater, and the other one is the dirtiest quarterback you've ever seen in Mac Jones. So, yeah, you're not happy that Tua's out this weekend, but you still win the quarterback battle by a landslide. And that's not a small thing. The two games, look, and Bridgewater's due for a good performance. The two games that Bridgewater has played, they were against really good teams. Bengals and Vikings. I know he started the Jets game. He was out after one play. The Bengals game, he came in the first quarter, whatever it was, and he played the full game against the Vikings. So, the two games that he's played essentially the full game were against really good teams. I mean, one of them's 11-4, the Bengals. The other one's 12-3, the Vikings. Bridgewater's due for a really good game. The two games he's played before, really good teams. The team he's playing this weekend sucks. So, I've been worried about this all week because Bridgewater has not been what you brought him here for. If you're a good backup quarterback, and you would think that Bridgewater is a really good backup quarterback. If you're a good backup quarterback, you win half the games that you're counted on. If you start 4 games, go 2-2. Like last year, Jacoby Brissett, 0-4, sucks. If you're a good backup quarterback, you split the games. And Bridgewater has not gotten them a win yet this year. He's due. And he's due for a good performance. He has a resume. He's a good quarterback. He's due this weekend. So the more and more I thought about it, the little better I'm thinking. Although, good poll question for today. What makes you feel better about... Maybe I should make this a poll. What makes you feel better about the Dolphins' chances this weekend? That Bridgewater is due for a win, or that this Patriot team sucks? Maybe we'll do something like that. But when it comes to Bridgewater, just do your job, man. It's what you're brought here for. If you needed to play, and we all knew he would, the greatest indicator of the future is the past when it comes to injuries. And you knew that Bridgewater was going to have to play. You knew that Tua was going to miss time. Just do your job, Teddy. Before the season began, if you needed Bridgewater to win a game against a bad team with one of the worst quarterbacks, would you feel good about that setup? Would that be a scenario that you would be interested in? Because that's where you are right now. If you were told before the season started, you need Teddy Bridgewater to win you one game to get to the playoffs. It's against a team that's not any good, and the other team's quarterback sucks. Sucks. Go out there, do your job. You'd feel good about that scenario, right? So the more and more I've thought about it this week, the better I feel. 2 sleeps away. 2 sleeps away. So the Heat, they begin their 5-game trip tonight. Kyle Lowry is on the trip. We talked about that yesterday. Don't let the self-righteous writers, the guys who cover the team, don't let these guys make you feel bad that you want Kyle Lowry to play. That you understand that there's personal issues, but you want him to get out there and play. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about that. There's a lot of self-righteousness out there. Lowry's on the trip. He should be good to go for tonight, all right? The Panthers last night, we'll get to them in a little bit as well. Sasha Barkov returned in a very big way. Hat trick in the first period last night. The Panthers go on to win 7-2. Hey, I want to tell you guys, it's the weekend. I want you all to be safe because it's New Year's. But if you're not feeling good, Doctors on Call 365. That's South Florida's urgent care that comes to you. I love Doctors on Call 365. 2 reasons. Number 1, I love convenience. And number 2, I love feeling better. Oh my God, I hate feeling sick. Dr. Alon, Doctors on Call 365. It was like the flu, but he tested me. I was negative. I was negative for the flu. I was negative for COVID. And then I reached out to him again the next day. I sent him a message. He's available. And I was like, I'm getting killed here. What do I do? Do I just stick with the plan? And he told me exactly what to do. He prescribed me the right medication. And I was good. I was better the next day. All right. In a couple days, it was really rough. But here's the thing. If I'd called my doctor, he'd had an appointment for me next week. No. I needed to be seen that day. Doctors on Call 365, South Florida's urgent care that comes to you. Now, you're paying out of pocket, but the convenience, oh my God. Medicare acceptance is coming. Private insurance acceptance is coming as well. But if you go to the emergency room, not only are you going to wait forever, but what you're paying out of pocket, your copay, it's going to be more than you're paying for Doctors on Call 365 to come to your home to treat you, to come to your office, wherever you're at. DoctorsOnCall365.com. Call them if you're not feeling well, 24/7, 786-577-9302. Phones are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're going to get someone on the phone immediately. You're going to get better so quick, and it's so convenient. You can't put a price on convenience. 786-577-9302. I love Doctors on Call 365. DoctorsOnCall365.com.